Yo, YouTube, what's good? It's your man, the Rich Kid, back at you with another video. Yo, this topic, tonight I want to talk about is some of the wild stories that we've done in our past. We've all got a past. I know I surely do. Um, just want to take a minute to kind of reminisce over some of the wild stuff I've done in my past, in my younger years, my past days. I'll take it back to high school. I want to say I was in 10th or 11th grade. Can't remember exactly which one, but I think it was 10th or 11th grade. Um, I was very rebellious back in my younger days. Um, I pretty much did what I wanted to do. Um, I didn't really listen to a lot of what people told me what to do. And it ultimately, it caught up with me. Um, but, I was hard headed, very stubborn. And this one time, this one instance, I can remember uh, the situation turned bad. So I came to school one morning, and it was one of them days where I didn't want to be in school. I really didn't. I wasn't a fan of school. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like getting up in the morning to go to school. But I got to school. One of my friends, my running mates, my man Lance, back in the day in high school. We had to go to homeroom. So, got to school right before homeroom. I got with my man Lance, and I was like, yo, um, I ain't feeling this today, man. I don't want to be here. Yo, let's ride out. He was like, word, all right, let's do it. So after homeroom was let out right before first period, we met up and we left school. We went through the back way of the school, through I can't remember, through the locker room, out through the back doors, out through the football fields in the back, the practice fields in the back, which led, to a wooded area, which, basically led to, streets in the back or whatever. So, like I said, we met up, we rolled out, and basically we was, cutting school for the day. Everything was lovely, So, on our way, our journey, our plan was to basically go back to his house, and we was gonna take it from there. So maybe about halfway uh, to my man's house, Lance, noticed some of the cops in town kept driving by. So that kind of sparked our antennas, like, yo, we already knew we was cutting class, cutting school, and it didn't seem comfortable, because they kept riding by. So we kind of got off the street. And then when we got off the street, we kind of shook them off a little bit. Then I can remember we made it into the neighborhood. We got close to his crib, and maybe about 5 minutes before we got to his house, 2, 3 cops rolled up on us. And I was like, oh man, yo. So they rolled up on us. They asked us, they got out, was like, hey, stop, come here, we got some questions for you. Uh, they basically asked us, what we were doing in this neighborhood. Did we live out here? Aren't you all supposed to be in school? And, now I'm like shook, man. Like, I'm nervous as hell, kind of stuttering. And they kind of knew that we were supposed to be in this school. We weren't supposed to have been walking around that time of day, in the neighborhood doing what we was doing. So basically, we got detained, and they detained us. We got searched. They searched us. They looked through our. I had a backpack. They looked through my backpack. Um, then they told us that there was some kind of break-ins going on in the neighborhood. I guess it had happened recently, earlier or something. And with us walking around, I guess we basically had fit the description of, I guess somebody had saw some dudes leaving, I guess wherever the house or the apartment that had got broken into. Now, granted, we didn't have nothing to do with that. We just walk into, his spot. But being that we were out there and the cops saw us, first thing they think, they roll up and see us like, these could be our dudes, our guys right here. But anyway, they found out that we, had nothing to do with that. But also, they knew that we were supposed to be in the school. So we got detained. They cuffed us. They took us to the precinct. Now I'm like panicking almost now because this is the first time I ever had been cuffed, put in the back of a cop car, taken down to the station. So when we get down to the station, they take us in. We're sitting in a room. I can remember one of I guess the lieutenant, the sergeant came out. He took my friend Lance into another room, and I stayed out. And I don't know what was said in there, um, but when Lance came out, he was like, "Yo," he's like, "We're gonna be all right or whatever." Um, you know, uh, we ain't gonna get in trouble for that break in and all of that, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, all right, then maybe they're gonna let us go, whatever. Not thinking that they know we're supposed to be in school at this time. So um, they contact the high school and basically, tell them that they picked us up walking, outside, and that we were supposed to been in school. Now, granted, the high school didn't know that we had left, so I was taken. We were taken both back to school. When we got taken back to school, our principal met us outside, as the police drove up. And, needless to say, my principal, he was assistant principal, Mr. Alexander. He was a real tough dude, man. He didn't play, when it came to discipline. So he was like, oh, you want to, cut class and cut school and do all this craziness. He's like, I got you. Come on in. Got something for you. So came in. First thing he does, I'm thinking like, okay, he's going to, back in the day, they used to give us, like in school suspension, or, uh, what they call it, after school detention or whatever. So I'm thinking it's one of them, I'm gonna have like a week of that, or, some kind of suspension, in school suspension or something, where, my parents wouldn't be contacted. Well, needless to say, when I got in his office, first thing he did was hop on the phone. I'm like, so yeah, let me call you the Richardsons, the mother and your mother and your father, and see how they like this. And man, I was like, oh my goodness, here we go. I'm like, I messed up now, you know. So of course he calls them, contacts them. He's telling them what happened. Uh, I didn't, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I talked to I think he called my mother, if I'm not mistaken, but I didn't speak to her. Um, but, you know, I already knew she was pissed off. I kind of could hear it through the phone or whatever, but yeah, she was pissed off. So you know, I could tell the way Mr. Alexander was talking. You know, he was saying this, that, and yeah, you know, he want to be out here, and, you know, in the streets and doing this, that. Oh, you know, well, we got something for him here, and you know, and I'm just sitting there like, man, oh man, messed up. So uh, you know, he gets off the phone, so he's like, "All right, well, you know, you already know what it is. You know, you've got in school suspension. I believe I had it for like a week. I got it for a week, and it was something else came along with it. But anyway, so went to my I had to go back to, you know, my classes, of course. You know, the rest of the day. Only thing I'm thinking about is like, yo, when I get home, I'm gonna have to deal with my parents. That's the crazy thing about it. So, you know, I wasn't even focused on no schoolwork, nothing the rest of the day. I'm thinking about when I get home, I'm gonna have to deal with this mess, you know. So, yeah, you know, of course, end of the day come, you know, back in the day, you know, we took the bus to school. So got on the bus, and my brother was just in high school at the time. So he didn't even know what was going on until I told him, you know, when I got on the bus. And he was all shocked, like, yo, he's like, you left school? And, you know, why would you do that? And blah, 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 this, that, you know. So get home. I believe my mother got home first. Then my father was second, you know, of course. So I faced them. Had to listen to, you know, them give me the riot act, you know, and you know, I basically, you know, I was grounded from now to eternity, had no privileges, couldn't go out anywhere, couldn't do nothing basically. Um and you know, it was just one of them things where I felt like, man, you know, how did we get caught? How did this happen? You know what I mean? Like, it was just a simple thing. And the thing is, I had done this like several times before. We had done it before and had never got caught. And this one day we got caught. So I really think it was a blessing in disguise for me to have gotten caught, because I don't think if I think if I had to continue, it could have been something more serious down the road. You know, I could have got caught up in. So that really taught me a lesson um, about this whole you know, truancy and skipping school. You know, but yeah, man, that was really a rough day. I learned a big lesson. Um, you know, basically, you know, how basically I was ruining my future by, you know, doing this stupid stuff, man. You know, these wild acts and stuff that I was doing, you know, and luckily, you know, I didn't serve no jail time, you know, didn't get, you know, falsely accused of, you know, something that I didn't do, you know, because I could have easily, you know, been, you know, implicated in something that I had nothing to do with. So, it was, you know, it was a reason why everything happened and turned out the way it did. But anyway, that's just one of my wild past stories, man. You know, I was a young man back then, and I had you know, basically no cares. You know, just acted off of emotion and impulse, man. And I think a lot of us have. So Yeah, man. YouTube, if y'all got some wild stories that, back in the day, let me know in the comment section, if you've done some craziness, in your past that may have caught up with you, and now you look back on it, 20, 30 years later, and you be like, man, what was I thinking? You know what I mean? But anyway, this is your man, The Rich Kid. If you like my content, give me a like, give me a subscribe, share it. Let me know what's good, YouTube. All right, I'm out. Peace.